We will try to do something around cloud pages and journey builder, mixture of both. And any idea what is cloud page? So it is inside this web studio module. You can see. Any idea? You will go inside this by
I-
clicking.
Is that a kind of a landing page?
Yes, it is a landing page and for other purposes also like um, forms, some references where you can manage subscriptions, allow user to enter the data, and you can also use AMP script inside this. And so it has a drag and drop editor, and you can use it in conjunction with the data extensions as well. And it has smart capture forms. Smart capture forms are used to collect the user data into SFMC and dynamic content. Dynamic content is nothing but personalization based on user attributes, profile attributes, and custom URLs with branded domains can also be configured. So, and there can be different types of cloud page content. There can be landing pages, there can be smart page, smart capture form, there can be redirect page, and those pages can, both those pages can use SS, JS, and AppScript also. So let us go inside this, try to create one and see how it looks and how can we create it. So, so landing page, right side, right? The top right. So in the description, anything relevant you can have. Click on next. It allows you to select the templates. Basically, we can select a blank for now, and we can later on edit it and add whatever we want. Open. You can see this URL, right? This URL is nothing but the URL of your landing page, correct? You can access whatever content you are having on the page by opening this URL as long as you are connected to the all. Now, we'll try to use this today, Smart Capture. Smart Capture is first, and we have to create a form and you see now I've dragged the Smart Capture and you can see this checkbox use in Journey Builder, right? Now, if you plan to use Smart Capture and Journey Builder together, you can go inside uh, this Smart Capture and you will see this. Now we'll take this option that and which indicates that we will be using this cloud page with along with the Journey Builder. So right now it is asking the name for this, any name. So any name you can give. This is data extension. Select the data extension from here, whatever you want. So anyone you can select. So whatever you will select, the columns will be reflected in it. I have one in the mind, so I'm going directly there, which has 5, 6 columns. Let's see. Okay, so save it for now. And whenever you click on it later on, it will come back. The left screen, left layout will come back. And now what happens is we are trying to create a cloud page here, which will have a form. That is why we selected this smart edit option, and we'll select all this one by one. Selecting means that these columns of data extension are being present here in the form. So we have included them in our form. And you see here in the HTML editor, you can see the code for each one of them as well. First, second, and go in. Second element is this. Third element is this. Fourth element is this. You have similar kind of code. The basic HTML code, which involves div classes, and you can edit it as well if you want. You can add your basic CSS like margin padding here, not an issue. It will display like that only. So basic HTML and CSS skills, if you know, then you can go ahead and so this is the whole uh, piece of code which has form and basic CSS included inside it. So it has automatically created that code. You have not written anything, right? This is how it gets created. Any page, if you want to go inside any, you can see the properties of name and this is the HTML part. The text type field, whether it is required, mandatory, or that also you can mention. Yep. So basic HTML CSS can be edited here. If you want to change anything, you want to add spacing. So any issues still not.
If we want to add capture or something like for more security,
Then you have to edit the code and add captcha. I don't think it is there right now. So SFMC, it is not having any built-in capture tool, and you can embed some Google reCAPTCHA. It is very common these days, which has uses the HTML and JavaScript, and so you can the URL is something like, if I remember, google.com and then slash reCAPTCHA admin. You can register your site. Then you will get the site key and secret key inside that, and then you can include. So there is a script file for that,
then.
and you can include that in your page HTML, cloud page HTML, and you can create a div for that. Secondly,
Hmm.
so that way, like normal HTML include creating div for it and calling the third party JS, right? Using the script type, script SRC type, right?
Hmm.
So that can be one approach. The thing is, it is not, since it is not having it internally, and
Hmm.
so we can call that Excel and that JS, sorry, and using script as architect and use those key. So it is a combination of three things.
Hmm.
Majorly, you create a separate div on your page for including it. So that will be the third step actually. First step will be go to the console and you generate the keys and all. Number two can be you can add it in your HTML using a script tag. And number three can be you create a div for it. And so you will have to write some SSJS as well or CAPTCHA, which will SSJS is nothing but your own JS,
Hmm.
which your platform needs to understand. So uh, basically, it will have some, it will fetch the response from the CAPTCHA, and if it is successful, then you will continue the flow of the form. If not, then uh, your validation will be failed, and this way, these three or four major steps.
So, since this is a landing page and we have created a form using data extension, is it possible that we already have an existing form created and we use that in this page?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Uh, now, so in Germany, build, if you remember, we used to select the entry sources like at the start of the journey.
Yeah.
So at the start of the journey, now instead of the index engine, you can select the cloud pages and you can include this cloud page in your entry sources and then proceed accordingly. And meanwhile, if you want to add some margin padding to these guys running the fields, if you want to apply some colors and all that thing that will be done in the basic CSS. False not the when you publish, you get this message that your landing page has been published successfully. There's one more thing in form styling. Can use this also. This has a lot of options. Background border of each field and how it will be on mobile other related fields. I click on here, and I'll just copy the URL and it should have it. You see this, so this is a page, and in the backend it is mapped to your data extension, right? And
Yeah.
in data extension, so the number of fields in this form equals to the columns in the data extension. Got it?
Hmm.
So each field in the form corresponds to each column in the data extension.
So, now what I understand is there are two ways if we want to embed a form in a landing page. It is either you first create a data extension with all the required fields that you want, and then use that data extension, anywhere, be it form or cloud page. Or can we also create a form from scratch in cloud page, like without
Yeah.
using data extension, and then we export the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can also embed the external HTML form, just like you have normal HTML form, right? Form,
Mm.
action tag, method post, and
Mm.
then label input, and then there can be another option. So this one was option one is smart capture, which we just now used.
Mm.
You just drag and drop, and smart capture has that feature of tying it to the data extension, right? And option two can create an external HTML form and just like a standard HTML. Option three can be you can use AMP script and SSGS to build the form manually. We can check out that later on also. And so yeah, these three are the major ways. Option one, smart capture, which we just now used. Okay,
Mm.
along with data extension. When I say smart capture, it means that data extension is included inside it. And option two is your standard external HTML form. Just like you create a form in HTML, right?
Mm.
You go to new, select a blank landing page and type your own HTML, right? Which has all the fields and everything, rather than using smart capture.
Um, So like for people like me, I am like naive for I cannot build HTML from scratch, I've not done the coding
So,
and all. So I
yeah,
can I mean I'm more into like drag and drop options, content block. So,
and that.
yeah.
So again, the time you have plus the business requirement plus, but
Hmm.
it depends on choice. Your choice depends on a lot of other options as well.
Hmm.
Plus your expertise, plus the amount of help you have got around you. So a lot of other factors as well. But you should be aware of the existing options, and
Hmm.
you can, if needed, you can enter into them deeper, right? Okay.
Oh, Mayur, so the example that you just shown us, it's related to the form, right? You have not created any landing page as such. You just created a form and you just try to add the records or
Yeah.
submitting the records under it, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't think that it's a landing page. It's a form simply.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's what I understood, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And like is there any provision to change this URL, or like it's the fixed one, like the system generated one?
Oh, no, it is fixed.
So see, you just shown us
Right.
only to create the, like you just shown us the process of creating the form, right? Not the landing.
And so These are all the methods to collect the data from the user um, for the personalization purposes.
No,
And
no. My question is that the steps that you just shown us is for creating the form inside that cloud page option, right?
yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't get your question.
See, form is the different thing and cloud page is the different thing, right? So the steps that you just shown us is something which you have created a form inside the
So,
cloud page.
land form is a type of landing page only. Here, so
But form we use for submitting the data, right? Or
yeah,
capturing the
that is fine.
responses of the user.
This is known as a landing page only because it has a different separate URL, right? And inside this landing page, you can say it is of a type form. And the other can be a standard web page, which will have some template like your home page of a site, your any other static page where you have the details like what profile of Vishal, photo of Vishal.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
can be type of another landing page, which does not have form in it. But this landing page has a form in it,
Correct, correct.
right?
So there are different types like
Yeah. Yeah.
with the
So
landing page or
consider
without the
it as
landing
a,
page.
yeah, don't get confused into the words. Consider it as a web page, normal web page.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
in normal web pages, you have other web pages as well, like
mhm,
static and the somewhat dynamic, which includes scripts. And
mhm.
thirdly, you have some forms. On every site, you have these kind of web pages, right? Different
Correct,
pages.
correct,
But
correct,
all of
correct.
them are web pages,
Mhm.
right? All of them are web pages. All of them are landing
Yes,
pages.
yes, yes.
So they have different URL, specific URL. You can hit them directly. And once you hit them directly, then you can land there.
Mhm.
So that is what is meant by landing page. You have a specific URL, you hit that, and then you land on that page. Simple.
Correct, correct,
Don't
correct,
fall
correct.
into the trap of words.
Okay, okay.
So
So yeah,
yeah,
so I'm clear with it now. I have two questions around this form. So do we have an option where we can add a dependent field here in this form? Like uh, like if I select any of the field, like see, for example, I have a customer company information, right? Or
mhm.
I have a field called gender. So let's say if I click on the gender specific field, then it will pop up another field for me, which is dependent on that. So as soon as I select the field, then only it will get visible on that form. So that kind of provision we have here in this cloud page, a
you
kind
mean
of a
to
dependent field.
you mean to say, okay, if I change one field, then it's reflected in another as well.
Change in the sense, see, dependent in the sense like, see, oh, I'm not remembering the
Yeah.
example now, but yeah, see, I will try to explain it. So let's say I
Okay,
have a
I
form
think I'm
where,
getting you, but yeah, that can be done, but you need some custom JavaScript for it in
so
your
okay, so that can be done with the help of SSJS.
yeah, SSJS and
We don't have that drag and drop feature
sort
here.
of AMP script and
Okay,
JavaScript.
okay. Oh, okay, so you mean to say like it can be possible with the help of that SSJS or AMP script coding, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And okay, uh, mm, another question I have. So let's say if I have created this form only to capture the users who has their business email ID.
Who
So
has
for
their business?
example,
What?
business email ID. So for example, the form will not accept any of the user who is filling out the form with their personal email address. So in that case, do we have also that option to validate that? Like that will only accept the business email IDs kind of thing, yes.
Business email ID, you mean like company?
I mean to say, yeah, company email address. So
Again,
so if for example, if I'm working for a B2B client, basically they will have a requirement to restrict that email ID as a field which only accept the business email addresses, not the personal one. So in that case, if whenever I am going to fill out the form, I will not use my Gmail ID or Yahoo ID for submitting the information. If I try to add it, it will throw an error to me. So in that
yes,
case, do
yes.
we have that kind of
So,
validation or rule?
okay. So inbuilt, it is not there in SFMC as of now, but
Okay.
it can be done. Number two, number three is you can apply some custom logic again in the JavaScript and AppScript, which will
Okay.
check on your domains. So, right?
Mm,
If
mm,
so, you can create a sample script function. What it will
mm.
do is it will take your email as an input.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
in that email, in that function, which is taking your email as an input, inside the script tag, you can apply the logic that uh, personal domains are not allowed. You can enter
Mm.
some, let's say, enter 3, 4 personal domains like Gmail,
Gmail
Outlook,
or Yahoo.
iCloud, whatever, Yahoo, whatever, Hotmail. So then you can restrict them. And
Okay.
whenever the user types in the email, it will call that the validation function of the email, right? And then
Mm.
trigger a warning or a error message. You
Okay.
understand? So you have this email field, okay.
Mm.
And on the click of it, you can call that validation function, JavaScript function, which you are doing, in which you're checking whether the domain is personal or business, right?
Mm.
You can call that function on the click of this email. It will validate that. It'll take the value as input, validate that, and return you the result.
Okay. So for that we have to first create that function, right?
Yes,
With
we
the
have
help
to
of
write it. No, not a big deal. It's just like 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of code.
okay.
You
So
write that and tie it to this field, okay?
okay, so where can I write that? Inside of the this landing page only, or that
Yes,
will be written somewhere and then I have to call
yes.
it
You can
in
write it
this.
here. You can write it here.
Okay, in the HTML. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You can, just like any standard JS, you can enter alert functions in that as well,
Mhm.
which will help you debug the flow. Yeah, so we can proceed. In AMP script, so you can do similar work in the AMP script as well, our standard JavaScript as well. And AMP, the syntax will be slightly different. It will use if else, it will set some variables and all that. So there is a index of function in the AMP script, which you can use to identify if your domain is having these person email IDs or not. And yeah. So syntax wise, there might be some difference between AMP and normal JavaScript, but yes, definitely it can be done.
A regular expression also supporting this for the validation.
Yes. This goes to the next question. What have you done? Yellow line. See there are some of the balls. They are done. So this was the same extension that we used, remember? And now we can try to enter. Yeah, we just entered the should have been there.
I think you have to refresh that data extension.
There. Check on this, why it is not there. Try to debug it later on. But again, I think it did not get refreshed at that time. Now both the rows are there. Okay. So within the landing page, form type of landing page, we have created a form using smart captures, and we have tied it to a data extension, and we have inserted the rows inside it. And yeah, the rows are inserted now. Now the next step can be can go inside the journey builder. Create new. Now you will select a cloud base, correct? Agree? Now go click on this cloud page. Suppose the name of my form, something like this. But it was this one. So like, I was searching for the page name of this contact segment. It is somewhere here in the, if you see this right form name, it allows you to search by this, right? And next, this is your form and this is your data target. Data target is nothing but your data extension, correct? Whatever data will come here, it will enter into your journey, correct? This is what means by the data source, right? So now you have it. And now the normal process continues wherein you can add your elements, rest of the elements like email here and fairly easy now. So it'll pick these records and feed them, run them one by one, the journey for each one of them. Now that there are two records we saw in the extension, and it will run for each record. So just like you run your journey for data extension, that is how you run your journey for cloud pages. And Similarly, you have this in resource Salesforce data at the last. What it does is it is for the other systems like Salesforce CRM, Salesforce Sales Cloud. So it'll fetch the rows from those platforms and it will be the entry source for your journey. Right. So this is how you create a cloud page and tie it to a journey and then move forward with the standard process of tying the journey elements together. Can also pick any existing journey and edit that and add this cloud page for that source. Yeah. So every time record will be inserted, this journey will be running for each record. Anything else? We can check out the other cloud pages options later on. Like this one is forms. We can do others. The one we discussed earlier. That can be one thing. And think of any other topic that we can cover. Try to cover that as well. You can use those JavaScript libraries inside your JavaScript whenever you want to edit standard JavaScript libraries like jQuery. There is one sortable.js, track.js, and obviously you have AppScript for that, and HTML5 version, and simple JavaScript. So you have some options to create functions and do validations and all these things. They help you build dynamic pages which have validations which can effectively capture data and save it into data extensions, right? Anything else?